All right, guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor Channel. My name is Ryan. This video is going to be aimed at the Henrys, the high-income earners not rich yet. At the end of this 5 or so minute video, you're going to have an idea of how you can strategically save $1 million over the course of your investing career. I know there's a lot of people out there that are making a lot of good money, but you don't have net worth yet. Okay, and the investing landscape is such to where I think a lot of those high income earners feel like they don't have ample time to devote to an investment program, so they typically will opt for either a hedge fund option, which I feel is probably the worst option, or the second worst option, which is going in with a financial planner and giving away the farm over the rest of your life. This information's free of charge. I push this out of the channel openly, electively, for anybody out there that's looking to take a self-directed approach to investor. The amount of money that you will save over the course of your lifetime is insurmountable. I'm going to be using the Trading Academy calculator, which is a free of charge service over the internet. Anyone's welcome to go in there and use that completely free of charge, no obligation, no strings attached at all, but it drives home my point of running certain situations and understanding the impacts of fees. I think a lot of people believe that just by becoming invested in the stock market automatically entitles you to some sort of wealth down the road. And I contend that while that might be important, you really need to pay attention to the actual program and do everything that you can possibly do to lower the expense over the account. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can save $1 million by deploying the self-directed strategy. With that, I'm going to jump into the Trading Academy and demonstrate what I'm talking about. All right, so this video is going to be for all the Henrys out there that are entering 2020. The high-income earner not rich yet. You're going to benefit from this message. I'm going to save you $1 million. So stand by for 5 minutes of your busy time before you go and jump into a hedge fund and start to pay 20% or more in fees, so you can tell your friends that you're part of a hedge fund, or you opt for a financial planner with any of the major brokers. Why don't you give me 5 minutes of your time? If you end up opting for this program, the potential savings on entry in a self-directed program is well over $1 million. To be specific, $1,016,273.66. You can keep the change. The scenario that we're going to run here is going to assume a $5,000 starting position, obviously arbitrary. You can pick whichever you want. If you're a high-income earner, money really shouldn't be an issue for you. We're going to run the scenario out for 40 years and contribute $1,000 a month. If you're a high-income earner, this $1,000 should be a piece of cake for you. It should be easy. You can obviously add to this to boost up the potential return over time. But the target date here is 2060. Obviously, if you're a high-income earner, retiring early could be a feasible end for you. But for the sake of example, the point I want to drive home is to try to get you to understand the importance of the choices that you do have, okay? You're making good money, all right? Don't throw it all away just because you feel like you're entitled to money because you make money. That's not going to be the case. You're going to have to deploy wealth building strategies whether or not you like it or not, okay? The Independent Investor Channel is going to say you're welcome right up front. You can tell me thank you 40 years from now when I've actually saved you $1 million. All right, guys? So the scenario is going to assume a nice conservative return in the S&P 500 of 7%. It's returned far greater than that, but for example's sake, this will drive home the point. The S&P 500 ETF from Vanguard carries with it an expense ratio of 0.03. It's a passive asset that we can assume can be set up at 18, 19, 20 years old into 2020 and be kept in the market for 40 years. And we're going to compare it to a 1% fee and a 2% fee. 3% is the industry average. And I would just caution you, if you're a high income earner but not rich yet, stay away from the hedge funds. If all you want to do is brag on the golf course that you're with a hedge fund, you're going to lose piles of money over time. So why don't you just do me and you both a favor and just stay away from that. And we'll talk about comparing the industry average of 1 or 2, which is 3%. But for the sake of example, I'm going to kick you into this report and see how this thing shakes out. So we've jumped into the report here, and here you go. The numbers don't lie. This is not magic. This is mathematics. And if you're a high income earner, you can take a few moments to appreciate this. It'll take me less than 5 minutes to win your business if in fact you are as smart as the income that you're earning reflects. So $1 million is the difference between the passive S&P 500. This is something that you can invest in less than a day. Get invested in, keep it, not look at it for 40 years if you want. Compared to the 2% annual fee that's going to be charged in a managed account. Remember, I'm using very conservative figures. This is actually more like 3% of an expense in a managed account. But the difference between these two is over $1 million. Again, keep the change. I do this for free. All right, we kick down here to the actual numbers. All things are considered equal. The initial starting amount at $5,000 for 40 years, $1,000 per month. The expense ratio that's awarded to have exposure to the S&P 500 passively, so you can go on about your business. 485, so $500,000 of invested capital over that same time period renders you 5x returns over that time. Same amount over here, $500,000, but this is in the managed account. The 2%, you might not think that that's a big deal, but when you look down here at the numbers, they're somewhat staggering, to be honest with you. The $500,000 only renders you 3x over the course of that 40 years. The difference between the 3x here and the 5x here is $1 million. And again, I'll say you're welcome on your behalf. No big deal. You can tell me thank you when we hit 2060 if you do in fact initiate a program like this in fee structure in fee column 1 as opposed to fee column 3 here, because the difference will be in excess of $1 million, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll kick you back to YouTube. All right, guys, so we've come back out of the Trading Academy using the fee assessment calculator to compare the two different scenarios for those high income earners, okay? I really want to put out a video and say that, you know, I did what I could to try to intercept some of those folks so that they could make an informed decision and understanding that there is a third option out there. And even though you may not feel like you have the time to devote to your investment posture, it may be worthwhile taking a couple extra moments and understanding what program can be put into place passively so you don't have to actively manage the account and allow those dollars to do what it is that liberated dollars do the best, and that is grow exponentially and compound on themselves over time. So I've just given you the greatest gift that I can possibly give all the Henrys of the world for this holiday season. Really hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to the message, guys, if you haven't done so already. Leave your comments at the bottom of this video. If you know some high income earners out there that need to hear this message, share the message with them. I don't know how many people I'm going to be able to get to with this, but I can rest easy knowing that we pushed the message out there and told them the truth about what's available out there, not only about the strength of your investment portfolio, but how you go about setting up that strength. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into the message, and good luck in your investment future.